Hello everybody, it's Captain Marty here. Christmas Eve, December the 24th. Got a little something special for you today. Very little fishing going on. So I'm going to share with you a great story about some fishermen, fishing families, and my first Christmas away from home. This is something we often do in our story segments, but today we're going to do it for you. Might help you to remember folks that don't have anywhere to go or can't be with family over the Christmas holiday. So stay right where you're at and I'll be right back.
Come and experience fishing for the whole family aboard the Crystal Dawn at Pirates Cove Marina in Manteo. The Crystal Dawn is a roomy 65-foot headboat, fully equipped with the latest gear to give you the best fishing experience. Worried about getting seasick? Fear not. The Crystal Dawn stays in safer and shallower waters to lessen the likelihood of that happening. Half-day and private fishing trips are available. To find out more, go online to crystaldawnheadboat.com. The Crystal Dawn Headboat out of Pirates Cove. Fishing that is fun for all ages.
Are you ready for a fishing thrill like no other?
Oh, there he is! There he is! Oh, got him up!
As seen on WikiTune at Outer Banks, the Carolina Girl, captained by majestic Jesse Anderson, is a custom, luxurious, 53-foot Jarrett Bay built boat running out of Hatteras Harbor Marina. Let Jesse and her crew give you a fishing experience of a lifetime. To book a trip, go online to CarolinaGirlSportFishing.com. Carolina Girl Sport Fishing, your offshore adventure awaits. So my first year away from home, my first Christmas away from home, I was in northern Key Largo at a place called the Ocean Reef Club, and I was a mate on a boat out of Hatteras, the Fiesta, with Captain Jules Langston. I'd fished there in the summer, and Jules said, why don't you come down and fish the winter with me in the Keys? And I thought, that'd be exciting. I've always wanted to do something like that. I never even thought, you know what, I won't be home for Christmas this year because, we got down there, we fished every single day. The Ocean Reef Club is a giant 400 slip marina. There was all kinds of celebrities running around there like Evel Knievel and Cher and Greg Allman and others. Pretty exciting, and we were on the nicest boat in the fleet. Captain Jules and his wife Betty were just really good to me in Hatteras. I had a little bitty rental trailer I rented down in Key Largo. There was nowhere to stay in the club itself, but I was good, and I learned the trade. I learned how to catch live ballyhoo, and right behind us was a boat, a little smaller charter boat called the Sea Elf. And Captain Phil Lawful was the captain. I always thought that was a funny name for a charter boat where people get sick, Phil Lawful, but it was actually Phil Lawful. And his son Mike, his wife was there a lot of evenings around the dock, his daughter, really nice, just a nice family. And they actually lived in a mobile home on Ocean Reef Club itself. So anyway, as we were approaching Christmas, I was starting to think about not being home for those magical Christmases my mom made, my dad made, and I was one of 5 kids from lots of cousins and aunts and uncles, and I was going to miss it. But the good thing was, a couple days before Christmas, Captain Jules said, you know what, we're not booked on Christmas Day. He said, I know it's your first day. He was very much a mentor to me. He said, I know it's your first day away from home, so come on down in the morning, and Betty and I will make you some biscuits and ham with red-eye gravy, country ham with red-eye gravy. Never had it before. Sounded good to me, and the Lawful family said, look, Marty, after you have your breakfast on the boat, because Jules and Betty lived on the Fiesta, and it was very much a live-aboard boat. After you get done in the morning, come on over and spend your Christmas Day with us. I thought, well, that'll be good. I'll be with a family, a nice family. I'll have breakfast with Jules and Betty, and it'll be all good. So, I talked to my parents back up in Daytona Beach where I was from and told them I'd miss them, but I was okay. So Christmas morning arrived, and I got in my car and drove down to about 8 or 9 miles through the mangrove swamp, down a desolate highway to the gates of the Ocean Reef Club. Very high security area. All kinds of celebrities stayed there when they were down from Miami. Went in and got to the Fiesta. It was raining and blowing a little bit, and I was like, man, I am glad we don't have to go fishing today. And as I jumped down on the boat, I could smell that ham and red-eye gravy cooking, and got in there on the boat with Captain Jules, and it was just, I said, this is going to be all right. We're going to do all right. And by the time we sat down to eat, I heard somebody hop onto the boat. You could hear when someone jumped down onto the boat, clump, 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 kind of like that. And I thought, well, what is that? And I looked out there, and there was 3 or 4 grown men in slicker suit and rain gear banging on the door for Captain Jules. And I thought, oh, gosh, they look a lot like a charter. So anyway, Jules opened the door, invited them in, and they said, Captain Jules, we'd like to go fishing today. We know it's Christmas, but it's the only day we can go. Would you be willing to take us? And Jules looked at me and he looked at Betty, because, when we went fishing, Betty had to get off the boat and kill time around Key Largo or wherever. And I just felt my heart sink. And sure enough, he said, yeah, we can do it. Do y'all want to do a half a day? And they said, no, Jules, we'd like to do an all-day trip. An all-day trip. These were people that did not celebrate Christmas, and they were ready to go fishing. Jules, being that kind of a captain, said, all right, let's go. He told me to get ready, and I with a very long face, cleaned off my plate and went out into the cold and the rain and got the boat ready to go fishing. I was so sad. We went offshore that day, and we did have a good day of fishing. We caught 7 sailfish that day. The guys were nice guys, but it rained. It was rough. I was about half seasick at one point, and I just thinking, well, there goes my Christmas. There goes my Christmas, And so I was pretty dejected, but we got through the day, and we did have those sailfish, and everybody seemed happy. And we headed back to the dock at the Ocean Reef Club, and all I wanted to do was clean up that boat, which took an hour and a half. It was a beautiful boat with a big tuna tower, and I just wanted to go back to my little trailer and have it be over with. Pretty disappointed. So when we pulled back in the marina, I will never forget what happened from that point on. And I'll take a little break right here, and I'll be back to tell you about how this story ended up in just a moment.
Electricity, something I don't mix well with at all, and that's why I only trust the folks at ELS OBX. ELS OBX offers a variety of services from custom electrical installations to lighting design. ELS OBX has the experience and know-how to complete any job. They're committed to providing the highest quality lighting and electrical installations or service at affordable prices. Visit them online at elsobx.com to get a brighter idea of how shockingly awesome they are. See what I did there? ELS OBX, electrical and lighting solutions you can count on.
So strangely enough, when we pulled into the dock, and the marina was desolate, as you might imagine, there was the Lawful family sitting in their big golf cart. Everybody had golf cart. And they were sitting there, and the rain had pretty much quit. And they were there. They had some buckets and some mops, and I was like, what are they doing here? And they said, we're going to help you clean up your boat. Knowing that it took me an hour and a half to 2 hours to clean that boat and dry it and all that every single day, they swarmed over the boat. Captain Phil, his son Mike, his daughter Mary, and the mom headed on back over to their single-wide mobile home, which was in the employee housing in the middle of the Ocean Reef Club on northern Key Largo. I was like, that's a nice Christmas gift. Thank you all very much, because I'm tired. I'm a little dejected. They didn't say another word. And when we chamoyed off and dried the last thing and finished the job, they said, now come on. I said, come on where? Where are we going? They said, you're coming to our house. Because I knew all through the day that day, I thought, you know what? They're back home having their Christmas, and I'm missing my chance to at least be with the family. But I went with them, and we went over there, and do you know, when we got in that mobile home, they had not opened a single Christmas present that day. Now, this is dark on Christmas Day, late in the day. They had not opened a single present. They had not eaten their Christmas dinner. They had held up everything, knowing that this was my first, a young man, your first Christmas away from home, them being a family like my family. They knew how bad that was going to be on me, so they just waited. They waited all day long. And we went in there, and I got to watch them open all their Christmas presents, and there was even a present under the tree for me, and I'll never forget it. I still have it. It was string art. There used to be a thing called string art, where you had a little net, you nailed in onto a pallet, like a bunch of nails, and you wrapped thread all around it, and it came out some kind of design. Mine was a sailing ship. I was happy. It was the only gift I got that Christmas. Then we sit down and we had the most beautiful Christmas dinner about 7:30, 8 o'clock that night. And that act of kindness struck me in a way that even now, many, many years later, I've never forgotten it. I've always tried to remember that on Christmas, a lot of times there are people that have nobody to be with. And I took a big lesson from that. And I'll never forget, as I left their house that night, it had started raining again. I went through the guard gate, back out onto that long road through the mangrove swamps up to my little trailer up there in Key Largo, and big old crocodile tears were running down my face because nobody had ever done anything so nice to me. And actually, it was probably the one Christmas I will never, ever forget. So I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Thank you for allowing me to tell a little story today. And you can scroll down and see all of our stories. We do this on a regular basis. So I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Keep your eyes and ears open for people in need. And may the good Lord bless you on this very, very special day.